Oh, hello there this evening. It's been an eventful day. So I'm just going to check that this is running properly. Is anyone watching? Just let me know if you can hear me okay. And I'm just going to check on this. So today I had a very interesting conversation with a ice bath specialist, actually. Oh, hello, Josephine. How you doing? Thanks. Nice of you to join me. Jeannie, how you doing? Let me see. Thank you for joining me. So today I had a great conversation, actually. Dr. Thomas Seeger. You probably see in the short that came up today. Great conversation, actually. It's a little blurry, is it? Sorry. It might be the. Let me check. See if I can focus up a bit. How's that? Hopefully it'll improve. It might be the stream from. Oh, hey, Terrorize. How you doing, my man? Good to see you. Yeah, so it might be because of the StreamYard software stuff. So yeah, today I had a great conversation with Dr. Thomas Seeger. Great guy, really nice guy. But if you don't know him, I will be putting up the full interview soon. It's up on the uncut version is up on Patreon at the moment. But very interesting, talking about ice bath therapy, and yeah, it's really cool. Actually, he does a lot of research into this. He's actually an engineer, professor of engineering, actually in America. And he also actually makes some really cool ice baths. Actually, they actually make their own ice. That's how cold they get. They make their own ice. But the thing called Morozgo Forge, like crazy expensive ice baths, like 30 grand. That's US dollars, right? So it's like 40 odd grand for us, like Australian dollars, maybe more. So yeah, if anyone wants to donate one, just let me know. Okay, I'd love a Morozgo Forge ice bath. So, but really interesting stuff. So I hope you guys stick around and see that interview, because a lot of really cool. I mean, it's a lot of the same stuff that I've been talking about recently, but still, it's going into a little bit more depth. We're also talking about how cold therapy actually stimulates the brown adipose tissue and actually creates new mitochondria, new healthy mitochondria in the brown adipose tissue. But the mitochondria itself actually has its own source of light, because the mitochondria generate heat, and that creates light. Really interesting stuff. So very cool. Which is why you can get, even in like northern European countries and the Arctic and so on, you can still have quite good D3 levels as a hormone production. So really cool. Yeah, can just like and snow. Yeah, some parts of America you can just he's actually in Arizona, I think he said. So it's like super hot, like 45 degrees Celsius in the shade. So pretty warm over there. Yeah, but really cool stuff. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever seen the Morozgo Forge, actually, but they're absolutely really cool ice baths. But yeah, crazy expensive, crazy expensive. It's like a permanent residence sort of place, sort of ice bath that you get, nothing portable. But you can always make do with a lot of other things too. Like if you use like an old chest freezer, for example, they work very well. Also leak proof, and yeah, even what I'm doing, it's very useful. Yeah, the snow is everywhere at the moment. It's in Sweden and the Czech Republic. Yeah, northern parts of Europe would be great, wouldn't it? it'd be yes, like Russia, for example, like, and like it's Sweden and Switzerland, all those places, and they just do their ice dips in the middle of winter. But they really only do it for a few minutes. Sometimes they only do it for like 2 or 3 times a week, and it's only like they just sort of walk in the water and walk out. You really don't have to spend a lot of time doing that, but crazy cold water too, and air conditions as well, so that would help, wouldn't it? That'd be really cool stuff though, wouldn't it? So yeah, that was really cool. And I thought we'd talk a little bit about that today. And I mean, if anyone wants to join the conversation, you're more than welcome as well. Well, let's see. I'll put the link up so anyone can join the conversation. Yeah. But the protocols, they actually, for Thomas, it was when he first started doing it, it was more about testosterone production, but that leads to many other things like hormone production. I think a lot of it has to do with your nervous system as well, because it all comes down to and all starts in your mitochondria as well. It's amazing the health benefits you get from cold therapy, actually. But again, like I always say, it's not just the one thing, is it? It's a combination of things, and just like a body clock, just like a clock, you need many cogs to make the whole system work, So, hello, Jeannie, how you doing?
Hey, mate, good.
Good. What have you been up to?
Well, it's quite warm here, actually, so I might need a cold bath.
Yeah, it's pretty warm today, isn't it?
Lots of lives. I don't get much else done because I'm always on watching live streams. Anyway, that's okay.
Yeah, retired life.
Would you not recommend a cold bath to someone?
No, I don't think there's any case where I wouldn't recommend cold therapy. And it's all relative as well. It's not, you don't sort of just jump straight in the ice like for your first time. It's like going to the gym. You start light and you sort of work your way up. It's the same with cold therapy. It's like in Australia, I don't think it really gets that cold that much, but even in summer, just cold water, you can mix it and start with like lukewarm until you get used to it, and just drop the temperature down like a couple of degrees each day, sort of thing. You just sort of build up to it. So it's all relative,
Well, that makes sense.
What you're sort of used to, Yeah, because otherwise, it's really just to the point where, like, just 3 to 5 minutes, to the point of just before shivering, and that could be quite warm for some people. I know people that can't handle like even 20 degrees. It's cold to them,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it just depends. It's all relative,
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you jump straight in the ice, you really sort of attacking your nervous system, because when you get into the ice or into the cold water, your nervous system really elevates quite high. So, and then you sort of calm down and bring yourself down. After a few minutes, you relax, and that's where the breathing comes in as well. You slow breathing while you're doing this. It'll help to calm your nervous system. But if you jump straight in the ice, that's just going to like woof, give you anxiety and all sorts of problems. So yeah, and it can raise your blood pressure. Yeah. So if you have high blood pressure already because of like your nervous system is out of whack, then that'll just increase your blood pressure even more, and it can get quite dangerous if you already have high blood pressure. So you need to manage that first, So couldn't get the water cold. Yeah, so put my large fan on besides the bath. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's quite difficult, especially like here in Queensland. It's quite hot, you know, it's kind of like Florida weather in America, right? So my ice bath, I just have a cheap ice bath, very cheap one. It does have a cooler, but I'd have to run that like for 24 hours to make it actually really cold. So I use a lot of ice. But I use like my neighbors, they use milk when they throw out milk containers, the 2 liter milk containers. I just fill them up with water and I freeze them in the chest freezer. And I've got 12 of them, so it's about 24 kilos of ice that I put in the bath every morning. So that really helps to get the water temperature down. Otherwise, it just doesn't get cold enough. So, yeah.
What about just a cold shower? Is that's
that's
still
good.
helpful? It may not be
Yeah,
as
that's very
good
helpful.
because that's about
Yeah, I mean,
the limit I'd go to, I think.
yeah, that's fair enough. No, that's fair enough. That's just, I mean, it's just as effective depending on what you are used to, you know. And I used to just before I had the ice bath, I did that myself. But what I would do is have, like, say, if you either have a hot bath or hot shower before, and then switch straight to cold water, that contrast will give you a similar effect. Yeah, so you go from hot to cold. But you don't need, like, I wouldn't spend too much time in the hot so much, and always finish with the cold. You know, 'cause it's really about that contrast and that training your nervous system to cope with that hormetic stress, or like that acute stress of the cold. You know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's still just as effective, and it will. If you get to, like I said, like just before shivering point, that is still going to activate brown adipose tissue. Okay. And when you do that, it also browns white adipose tissue. So you're going to create more brown adipose tissue, which we process, like when you process fat, when you metabolize fat, it goes through the brown process first. It's much easier for the body to use brown adipose tissue first rather than white adipose tissue. So it's really, and that's where you produce more mitochondria, and you get that internal heat as well. So that's why you can handle more cold conditions, because you are producing more heat internally through your brown adipose tissue. So meaning you're metabolizing more fat, right? So it's really good. I slowly turn the hot tap off. Yeah, like the colder water helps wake up. Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to do it, Josephine.
I was always one of these in winter, even when the wind was blowing. It takes me a lot to get into a cardigan or jumper, right? And the number of times I've heard, "Aren't you cold? Aren't you cold?" No, if I was, I'd have a jumper on. You know.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Some people can't handle even a little bit of cold. It's like they rug up like they're going skiing or something.
Yeah, I've got family members like that. Like even in summer, like in Queensland, if it drops, below like 25 degrees, they put a jumper on. It's
oh
like,
my God.
Yeah, it's that to me is crazy. It's like, seriously.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
It's
just
funny.
people are addicted to comfort, So anyway, I have a fan in the bathroom too. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, help air dry. Yeah, when you get out of the shower. Yeah, I mean, you really don't need it to be ice cold, and you don't really need it for a long time either. I do. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, so my nervous system is quite used to sitting in the ice bath, and I'm quite comfortable just sitting there breathing for 10, 15, even 20 minutes. But anything really 3 to 5 minutes is enough. That's all you need. And even just a cold shower is a great way to do it. So.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hello there, Grandma Crochet Corner. Always good to hear from you.
I was just with her.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Lainey.
So just finished live. Yeah. She always had, I think, is that every day she does that?
Yeah. She goes for hours.
Oh, okay.
It's so relaxing. Just to,
Yeah. Hey, Lainey, how you doing? George just having a shower and excellent. Great to be good to see you, George, again. Yeah. So we're just talking about cold therapy, Lainey, and actually, that's something I think you would be interested in, actually, because I was talking to Dr. Thomas Seeger about that today, and we're talking about mitochondrial health, and it actually produce more healthy or new healthy mitochondria in your brown adipose tissue, which is stimulated by cold therapy. So everyone who's 7-hour live, wow, I've done that once, and honestly, that nearly killed me. Seriously, I mean, I actually did a 7-hour live. I had to finish at 12 o'clock at midnight here, but then like 4 o'clock the next morning, I had an interview with Dr. Abs, so I had to. That was a struggle. Like 3.5 hours sleep, and I'm like, he's trying to go through all this, biochemistry stuff, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, yeah, that was a struggle. It's hard to think at 4 o'clock in the morning, on a normal day.
It really is. Yeah. Isn't it funny the things that we have been brainwashed into believing, like the term burning fat, which is absolutely false.
Yeah.
But everyone uses it.
Yeah.
Everyone says it.
Yeah, same with calories, right? Like everyone says, you burn, you got to burn more calories than you eat, and that's how you lose fat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you burn fat with this, and the whole crap about like these different zones about cardio, like zone 1, zone 2, sort of where you metabolize more fat, sort of thing. It's total horse shit. The medical industry and the fitness industry, and that industry is what they are. They're not, they are big business industries, and they are full of it. They are absolutely full of it. And I mean, this is kind of like, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. This was my career path, and that's what got me in trouble. I believed that crap.
Yeah.
And, it was. It doesn't matter if it's ultra processed or not. It's just it's all about calories. It's just nonsense, absolute nonsense. But when you think about it now, like, I can't believe how stupid I was to believe it all. But you believe your teachers, don't you? You believe your professors and doctors and everything you really are. So whatever. It is what it is. Yeah.
That's the thing. Once you find out something and you stop believing it, you stop believing a lot of other things. Well, it makes you dig deeper, obviously, and you find out so much more.
Oh yeah, that's right. You find out it's not just about this; it's about everything. Yeah. But
burning, like, even the term, sorry, Dave, burning fat. It's like we don't have fires going on inside us burning.
That's the thing. We're not an internal combustion engine.
No.
We are. It's an organic life form. Like it doesn't do that sort of. I don't know where they even come up with these terms about burning fat. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is when you really think about it.
I'm feeling really good now. I've gone completely carnivore. Popped in Oxbile. Oh, good. Collagen supplements. Not bad. The difference is my health is. The difference in my health is amazing. Excellent. Well done, lady. Done absolutely great work. I'm so glad to see that, actually. It's been a long journey. But we keep fighting, don't we? We keep fighting, mate. Lainey had quite severe problems, actually. She was quite a high stage breast cancer, I think it was. So yeah, it's good to see she's doing well.
Good on her.
Yeah. Sorry, eating dinner. Howdy, beautiful people, Grandma Barbara and Lenny. Good girl. Coming in late. Curious on the person's name on the panel. Oh, okay. I'll put the names up. Hang on a second.
This is Jeannie, Grandma, running tap.
Yeah, running tap.
That pesky little running tap.
There we go, Jeannie. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's Hey JJ, one JJ, how you doing? And yeah, I know you. Yeah, I know you. She knows you, Jeannie. That's good. Yeah. So I mean, it's the whole thing is crazy. You know, like when you think about now, the whole. I mean, I think they get the term from, you know, when they use a bomb calorimeter, they actually burn food, right? And that they sort of carry that on over to they tend to think that the bomb calorimeter acts the same way as the human body, which is just nonsense. So when they burn food in bomb calorimeter, all right, that's how they actually count the calorie sort of content of food. So on average, they said, like, for example, when you burn food in a bomb calorimeter, you get, say, 4.5 calories from protein and carbohydrates, and you get twice as much, so around 9 from fat. But I mean, you fill up your car with calories. You know, we don't burn anything. You metabolize food, you know, for the nutrients and to recover from the activity. You know, not so much to fuel the activity, but to rebuild afterwards. And that's what people just don't get. And there's, you know, and like Bart K says, there's really no such thing as nutrition science. You know, it's all completely made up by corporations. And this is the thing too. This was all started by corporations that wanted to sell their products, like Kellogg's and you know, the Sanitarium Group and all that, so on, selling cereals and junk and, you know, all this ultra processed garbage. But then you have, like, they actually own, I mean, they started the nutrition sciences, or so-called sciences, like Dietetics Association, nutrition educational like programs, like in universities and so on. These are all created by these corporations. So this is the thing about, you know, the food pyramid. Even though, like, America, okay, they recently, okay, they flipped the food pyramid and they said, you know, meat's okay again, and, you know, it's still only 10% saturated fat, which is ridiculous. But even if they gave us a great new food pyramid, say just a pyramid of meat, you would not get these institutions to adopt it. That's the biggest problem. Like the Dietetics Association, nutrition sciences in universities, the Cancer Association, or Diabetics Association, and so on.
Heart Foundation.
No, the Heart Foundation. None of them are going to say, "Oh, sorry, we got this wrong, and we're going to start all over again, and new courses and new studies and so on." They're not going to do that, because, I mean, there's going to be a number of problems with that. But apart from that, they're all sponsored and paid for by big corporations, so it's just not going to happen.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So we have to take care of ourselves and stop listening to, you know, these institutions that tell us what we should and shouldn't be eating, you know. And
some people still believe them. That's the scariest thing.
Yeah, too many people still believe it, unfortunately. And it's going to be a really long road to dismantle all that. I mean, this has been going for, you know, like 150 years total. Like, so, you know, it's going to take a long time. And the problem is, like, when people know things, they know it. Like, they know, like, when people thought the world was flat. They knew the world was flat, right? Until it was proven otherwise. And everything that they believed, when it becomes a belief, it's really difficult to change their minds. Mind's like a steel trap, you know. So I knew it was wrong when I didn't see my middle name. Oh, okay, just okay, right. Love what carnivore is doing to my brain. Yeah, beautiful. Never give up. Yeah, it's well. You know, this is it too. Like, you know, when we talking about health, all the things that you get all these clickbait, you know, YouTube videos about, you know, this brain, you know, super brain food and all this, you know, and it always comes down to these ridiculous things like turmeric and, you know, berries and all this other crap that just poison you anyway. But you know, like eggs, seafood, meat, you know, these are superfoods for your brain, high in was it choline, and like, you know, it really does get rid of the brain fog and help you sort of fire on all cylinders, you know. It's really incredible. So, and of course there are other things that help with that too. Look, actually was part of my conversation. I was talking with Dr. Thomas Seeger today. Our brain, cold therapy helps with the brain and activity and so on, because it all helps. Everything starts in the mitochondria, right? And ketone delivery and everything like that. It all goes to the brain. So it's really imperative. It's really very healthy thing for the brain and for everything else, right? You missed the N. Oh, okay. Why do I have a thing with spelling names? Fair enough.
Just practice, Jojo. It's all right.
Yep. Yeah, Sanitarium absolutely smashed me with ads on here. Yeah, it's crazy, like the ads you get on like here in Australia. Yeah, whereas the cheap bakes are or up and slow. Yeah, up and slow. I like that one. Yeah, up and slow. These foods are unbelievable. Like if you go to a supermarket now, like, you can even get what is it, like Nestle has you know, like Milo. Actually did a thing on Milo with on a live last year. I think it was like Australia Day, but absolutely toxic waste, that stuff, you know, Nestle's Milo. But it's a very popular sort of chocolate milk drink.
I love it. I love it. Oh, I used to.
I used to love it too. Like, you know, when I was a kid, it would be like in a glass of milk. Like there would be like this much Milo and this much milk.
Exactly.
You know, and be like eating mud.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely toxic waste, that stuff. But now they have Milo cereal and they have Milo snack bars and Milo all this other stuff that they're actually promoting as a breakfast food, right? And telling everyone out it's actually, you know, that health star rating they've got here in Australia. It's got more health star rating than meat does.
Yeah,
it's insane, absolutely insane. It's crazy. And here in Australia, you get lots of sanitarium ads. Hey, George, how you doing, my man? Lenny was here just a minute ago. Yeah, out of the shower and listening. G'day, Brad. Yeah, terrorized. Yeah, welcome to join. Anyone's welcome to join tonight. The link's in the top of the chat there. So go.
It's interesting. Yeah. I used to work with a lady who is so awake to so many things, but she studied as a dietitian, and she still goes for the smoothies and the celery juices will detox the metal crap from your body, Jeannie, and I'm then, I eat lots of meat. And she looked at me really weird, and I thought, oh, I'm not going there. And I thought, how can you be awake to so other many things and not food, you know?
Yeah, dietitians are the worst. Dietitians, they are the worst. Like, I mean, they're fully indoctrinated, you know, like their whole 4-year degree is about plant-based food, you know.
But she's smart, as I say. She's a critical thinker, but she hasn't cottoned on to this. It's weird.
Yeah, no, there's always that one thing, you know, like they'll be quite all right with some things, like I don't get the jab sort of thing. But then when it comes to something else like nutrition or something in politics, it'll be like there's always that one thing. They don't think it sort of covers everything.
Yeah.
Pork mince and venison mince sounds good. Mix for my breakfast. Quite tasty. Fry it off in the pan. Sounds good, Mandy. Good to see you too, Mandy. Yeah, that sounds good, actually. I actually found at the local supermarket here in Australia, I found wild-caught venison sausages.
Yeah. Oh, really?
They were really good, actually. So I thought I had to give that a try. They were only like $15 a kilo too, so they're actually cheaper than like beef sausages here.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I'd love to try that.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, I haven't been able to find them though since. I only found them once so far. Not brave enough to do cold therapy. It's cold enough here in the UK. Well,
that's true.
Well, I mean, it's like I said before, Lainey, like it's something that you work up, like just start the cold shower, and I guarantee you notice a huge difference. I really do. I guarantee cold therapy works, and it works for everyone. So. George recently tried raw mince and pleasantly surprised what other cuts do. Yeah, you eat it raw. Yeah, George eats it raw, doesn't he? Actually, I can eat it almost raw, actually, at the moment. What I've been doing, I usually pre-cook my steaks, and chuck steak is my favorite for this, especially because it's chuck steak is always very, very fatty, and it's like adipose tissue actually runs through the meat, not so much just on the edge. But if you cook it and then refrigerate it, salted, and leave it in the fridge, and it sort of soaks up all that blood again, and pretty much almost raw blue, kind of like eating roast beef. Slice that up nice and thin. That is absolutely delicious. Mwah. The best way to eat it. Yeah, absolutely love it.
Cool.
Yeah, I would become an ice block. George would chisel me out. Well, give it a try. Okay. Yeah. That's one good thing about being in the UK though. Like somewhere cold, you can just go outside and still get some cold therapy. You don't have to be in an ice bath or a cold shower. Just be in a cold room. There were several studies like on mice, but also on people. Okay, in the last 15 years or so. But this has been done over several studies actually. Studies showing that there was one group of people in a room at 21 degrees for 7 days. Okay. And that showed that it activated their brown adipose tissue, which took away blood glucose levels faster than their tumor cells could, and it actually showed reductions in their tumors. Then they did the same thing with people in a 14 degrees Celsius room for just 24 hours, and it did the same thing. Okay, so even in a cold room, a cold air-conditioned room, you can still, and especially if you're on a good ketogenic diet or carnivore diet or whatever, this is definitely going to help. Okay, obviously limit your eating. If you did a 24-hour fast, even that would be, I think that would really metabolize things a lot faster. So it'd be a good way to do it.
Because 14 degrees is nothing to me. That's not even cold to me. So everyone's different, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it all depends on what your nervous system is used to, isn't it? So, it's all really interesting stuff. And like, usually you'll find that men will adapt to ice or cold therapy faster than women do. But when women do adjust, and they do adjust to it, they can get to the same temperatures as men very easily. It just takes a little bit longer, and it's very good for thyroid function. and so many other things actually. So, hormone production, even male and female, of course. Testosterone is one of the more important ones, and even for women as well. Testosterone is very important, but also for D3 production, and like I said before, the mitochondria, making new mitochondria in the brown adipose tissue. Of course, that's going to be brilliant for everyone. But testosterone in particular, I've is really interesting because it also stimulates your kidneys to produce more erythropoietin, and you're going to produce more blood cells. Especially if you are post chemo. This is very important because it's going to raise your platelet count, your blood cell count, and your stem cell count, and so on. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. 14 degrees Celsius is summer night temperature here. Well, there you go. 14 degrees is summer. Okay. That's pretty much all you need. Just take the jumper off. Okay. So just to the point where just before, you don't have to shiver, you don't have to sit there shivering, like sort of just before the shiver point, that's where you start producing brown adipose tissue. Okay. Which is going to help with hormone production and so on as well. I was thinking of doing a small fast, and I may pop the shower on cold for a couple of minutes when I get in. Yeah, that's a good idea. You may be screaming Australia. Fair enough. Make sure you finish with the cold. Like start with the hot and finish with the cold. Okay. And you only need, like I said before, like 3 to 5 minutes max is really all you need. Cold therapy. Okay. Like cold water. You don't need to be in there all day long. Okay. And you certainly don't need to be there for very long. When you get more comfortable and you want to extend that, then feel free to do it. But you don't. It's like anything. You don't have to put a big time commitment into these things. You don't have to do it, like half an hour a day sort of thing. That's just too much. You can have too much of a good thing. So there's a difference between like a hormetic stressor and chronic. Okay, so like an acute treatment versus like chronic cold. Chronic cold is bad. Chronic cold will make you sick. So like if you're out all day in the snow working sort of thing, that's going to make you sick. All right. But like a few minutes is really healthy. So there's a big difference. Don't go overboard with this stuff. Especially if you already have blood pressure problems and so on. So it's the same with breath work, and it's the same with everything. It's all about moderation, isn't it? Surely you with the like carnivore diet, you can pretty much eat as much as you want as long as you're eating it right. But you can't have too many eggs. You can't have too much dairy. You can have too much, I don't know, what else would you eat on carnivore? Yeah, meat's pretty much fine. Yeah, but you can have too much of other things as well. So it's really about not going overboard and putting everything into perspective, and don't have to. It's same with diet too. You don't change that overnight. You don't just jump in the ice, and you don't just jump into heavy breath work either. All right, so you need to regulate your nervous system along the way. So you do this step by step, piece by piece. The same with if you are new to breath work, for example, you don't want to do something like a holotropic or like an hour-long sort of, like hyperventilation sort of workout, because that's going to really attack your nervous system and it'll put you into that sort of anxiety, sort of nervous state. All right. So, breath work, too much breath work at any stage can do the same thing. Same with ice baths. And it's about, just learning as you go and learning how to regulate your nervous system, So So it's all good. It's all good about training. All right, I'm off my cold therapy. Good man. Yeah. Cover your ears. Cover your ears. I'm sure George will keep you informed of my screaming. Fair enough.
Don't go overboard, Laney.
Well done, Laney. Come on. Yeah. Stay strong, Laney. Yeah. It is.
Not everyone's on board with this ice therapy, you know. Some people poo-poo it, as you probably know, but...
Oh, yeah. That's all right.
I trust you.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, again, like, I'm not here to force anyone to do anything that I do.
I know.
Or to force anyone to say, look, you know, this is what you have to do, sort of thing. But this is what I do, and this is why I do it. And that's basically that's all my channel's about, basically. And it's, I mean, if you know people can take this on board, that's great. But if not, then you know, there's no skin off my nose. You know, like I'm not going to worry too much about it. I mean, I know what it's like, you know, trying to convince people that, you know, these things work and why these things work. They don't understand it, and they say, no, that can't possibly be. It's too simple, you know. So we like to overcomplicate everything, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So nice book today. Oh, certainly. Yeah. George likes his meat raw. Yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah,
like again.
Sorry. Get into it. Yeah. I haven't done the raw steak thing. I just can't imagine chomping into a raw steak. I'm afraid I like it cooked.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, a little bit cooked. Yeah, especially actually the fat. I prefer the constant. I prefer the texture of the fat once it's cooked and then cooled.
Yeah,
because it's very solid.
Yeah,
you know.
So, yeah, that is good.
Yeah, I quite like that. Yeah. So otherwise, it's I don't like the texture of fat. It's still sort of hard to get my head around that. It's been a long time, but it's still But I'm not complaining. I've done pretty well so far.
Oh, and, yeah.
But it's sorry, hang on a question here. Easy. Any thoughts on telemethine? It might estrogen treatment, but I'm worried on my bones. I rebound weight as walks. Any ideas, please? Okay. Let me just have a look at that. I haven't actually heard of telemethine. Okay, so let me just Google that for a sec. It's good that you are. It's my estrogen treatment, but I'm worried about on my bones. Yeah, see, the problem with estrogen, same with any hormone treatment, right? When it comes to, see, the same with men, right? With testosterone replacement therapy. I don't think when your body can produce it, we shouldn't be trying to replace it or supplement it. It's the same with D3, right? I always advise people against the D3 supplement because you want your body to produce these hormones, right? So I would, at best, these things are temporary sort of enhancers, okay, supplements, any kind of supplement or like hormone replacement therapy should be temporary, okay? And anything that increases estrogen, and these are going to be xenoestrogens because they're man-made versions of estrogen, right? So yeah, I mean, these are again going to cause, well, they do have a number of side effects like hot flushes, sweating, bleeding, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, and fatigue. Now, I think a lot of that would be also come down to the fact that serious risk include blood clots. Okay, liver problems, severe dizziness, high calcium levels, and endometrial changes. Okay, uterine cancer and hyperplasia. Okay, so yeah, I mean, by all means, don't take this as medical advice. I'm just saying that at best, obviously, these things have a number of side effects that are going to really affect your body, especially long term. If short term, if you need it, okay, but estrogen is really not the biggest thing that you need to be worried about. I think when you increase your estrogen levels, that actually inhibits testosterone production, including in women, okay, which is, again, that's going to inhibit down the track, that's going to inhibit your erythropoietin production, okay, which is stimulated in your kidneys to produce or to stimulate your bone marrow to produce blood cells. Okay, so when that lowers your platelet count, your red cell blood count, and your white blood cell count, that means it's going to lower your immune system as well. So I'm not saying just stop taking it, but it should be a temporary measure anyway. At best, a temporary measure. And like, I've just a quick Google search, and you can find so many different side effects: gastrointestinal, nausea, vomiting, fatigue, dizziness, edema, swelling, weight gain, rash and itchiness, depression, mood changes, headaches, hot flushes, sweating. Leukorrhea, bleeding and spotting, blood clots, uterine issues, cancer risk, cardiac, irregular heartbeat. So it can actually give you all kinds of nervous system damage as well. I mean, it's the same with testosterone replacement therapy with men. These are all side effects as well that men get as well. Very numerous side effects of this sort of stuff. I mean, ideally, the plan is to get your body to produce all of your hormones and everything else that you sort of produce, like antioxidants and so on. That are actually produced in the body, to produce it naturally. If it's a temporary measure, like, just try and wean yourself off it if you can. I would. But that's just me. Like, again, I'm not giving medical advice, all right? And again, it comes down to your lifestyle as well. Like, this is where, we're talking about diet, obviously, talking about carnivore diet, but cold therapy, breath work, grounding, sunlight, these are all things that are really going to help to get stimulate your body to do all this for itself, to do it naturally. So that's what I would do. I would try and just stick to the lifestyle and try and get those hormones, working properly without the supplements or the medications. But yeah, it can have an effect on your on bone loss and things like that, and blood cell production, okay, which is more important. Okay. Yep, you're right about that. The fat. Yeah. Cool. George, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Better than Lainey by the sounds of it. She is screaming in the shower. She's obviously just turned it on to cold. So.
Oh no.
Yeah,
toughen
up, woman.
She's very noisy about it as well. But there you go. But she listens to everything you say, DC. So fair play to the girls.
Good. Yeah, that's good. Well, I'll try not to steer her wrong then. But no, the cold therapy is very, very beneficial. She'll get a lot out of it. So yeah, that's good. At least she's trying, and like, you get used to it. I'm very comfortable with the cold now. So, like,
she's obviously still trying because she's still screaming. So she's obviously sticking to it.
Oh, that's good. Excellent.
Great.
That's why the mind is so easy to. Oh, the mind is so easy. Oh, okay, that's why mine is so easy.
The mince, say.
The mince. Oh, okay, the mince. Yep.
Mince.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that mince would be easy to eat. Actually, like you're not chewing or biting too much, but actually, chewing and biting is actually very good for your jaw and for your teeth. So, depending on what your condition is like, though. I refuse treatment, so that's good. This one they want to take. Oh, okay. They want to put you on the estrogen replacement, I guess. Mandy, I would always avoid that sort of stuff myself. I mean, this is just me speaking. It's just from my experience. I always they wanted to put me on testosterone replacement therapy many years ago as well, but honestly, it's you really want to get your body into producing those hormones naturally. Okay, so crap, isn't DC cancer scary? But the drugs do so much damage. Oh, the drugs, yeah, the drugs do a lot of damage. This is the thing. Like, we get so many medications for different ailments, and they always tell you, okay, these pills are going to help you with this condition, but they don't tell you what comes with these pills, right? And they always cause so much more damage, and even supplements have the problem with like xenoestrogens. And I've already spoken about the xenoestrogen effect on hormone production, which later down the track reduces your blood production and obviously lowers your immune system. It's like one of those favorite quotes of Chafee, the CEO of some drug company. Like, the best drug is one that has side effects that we can give more drugs for. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. And supplements are the same. Okay, supplements are made by these companies, so they do an incredible amount of damage. Jonathan, how you doing, my brother? Links at the top if you want to join us, mate. Hope you're having a good day. It's pretty early over there for you still. Yeah, be brave, Lainey. Remember to breathe. That's it. Don't tell Lainey, George, tell her to stop screaming and just breathe. Breathe calm. Deep breath. Yeah. You're out. That was quick. What the? My brain is saying, what the heck? But I have to say, it's quite refreshing. Yes. Once your body comes out of the shock.
Yeah, once you get past that, it's all good.
Yeah. You'd be surprised, Lenny. This is why, actually, there's a video in my members area. There's a protocol that I use that is perfect for, everyone really, but for hormone production, muscle production, or it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you want to build muscle, if you want to be healthy or anything like that, this same protocol gets you there. Now, start with cold therapy. So, like, the first thing I do in the morning is an ice bath, okay? And then to warm up, I do breath work. Now, the synergy of these two, all right, like I was talking about with with cold therapy, you are producing more brown adipose tissue. You are mobilizing this brown adipose tissue. You are taking blood glucose levels out of the blood. We're not getting out of that ice bath, actually, just on a tangent here. My blood glucose levels are less than 2 millimole. So it's incredibly low, like after an ice bath, right? But, with all this going on and, stimulating hormone production like testosterone and so on, the next thing I do is breath work. And I usually use a deep calming breath work, but I also use very prolonged breaths and very prolonged breath holds. Now, hypoxia-inducible factors. These are proteins that produced when you have higher CO2 levels and you create hypoxia. This also stimulates the kidneys to produce more EPO. Now, you can produce through breath holds, you can produce up to 30% more EPO from your kidneys with the peak being about 3 hours after your last breath hold. That stimulates more. That stimulates your bone marrow to produce more blood cells, including stem cells, platelets, and red blood cells and white blood cells, and so on. So these two together, first thing in the morning. That's how I rebuilt my immune system, my blood count level, and everything else. All right. So these, the three with the carnivore diet, those are the three non-negotiables. And it's best if you can do this. I mean, I do this outside when I'm grounding and, getting sunlight. And so it all sort of works together, But yes, I love my big fluffy warm towel. Yes, you do appreciate the warm towel afterwards, don't you? Yeah, it feels very good, actually. And your nipples can cut glass as well. But yeah, it happens. It's good.
Yeah, just remember, DC, Lainey is -1 nipple at the moment. So
okay, yeah, well,
so she only got the one which she can cut glass with.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Might do in a bit, depending on when you finish. No worries, mate. No worries. Join anytime. Poor advice, but tell them where to put their drugs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Tell them where to put them. What must I eat? Yeah, I mean, avoid medications and supplements at all costs. I mean, obviously, there's going to be circumstances or conditions that you may have that may require these things temporarily, but that's what they should be. They should be temporary. Okay? You shouldn't have to be on any kind of drug for the rest of your life, and I find it's always more important to get your body to produce the hormones and set yourself, and that includes other things like your antioxidants, including D3, is a hormone as well, but all of your hormone and your organ production and everything like that. It's about making the clock work at peak performance, right? Or as best you can. And you don't want to introduce anything that's going to sort of clog it up a bit. So that's just my take on it anyway. Yeah. So what have you been up to, George?
Oh, loads, DC. To be perfectly honest with you, mate, I'm absolutely shattered at the moment because since August the 20th of last year when I went to Wyoming, I've been just flat out trying to organise stuff in the carnivore community. And of course, I've been mainly targeting the USA community. So what I've been doing is I've been working 2 time zones. I've been working on the British time zone and also the Eastern Standard Time over in the States. So I've been sort of surviving on 5 hours, and I thought I could do it. But this week, it really caught up with me. I was fairly late up this morning. I had to have a couple of early nights. But yeah, it's been great. And but it's time now. I think I've got to be a bit easier on myself. And because we've got a very big year coming up this year. We've got 2 major meetups in the UK. I am going to launch my coaching career around those. And then I'm myself and Lainey are going to Michigan over to Kalamazoo in September. And we're going to have to meet Robin Heron, Carnivorous Grammar. She's organising the Impact meetup over there. And Dr. Kiltz is going, Kerry's going. There's going to be a lot of people there. So, yeah, I think I really need to take, while I'm working 60 hours a week in construction, I need to slow down a bit on the carnivore and then get ready for a big summer, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I think it's quite sensible if I do, if I'm not around quite as much as people are used to seeing me, but I'll still be there. There's no question about that.
No, I think it's more important. You got to take care of your own health first before you can help other people. So,
yeah, exactly. So I've got to be a bit sensible. I've got a lot of our lionesses out there are a bit worried about me. Coach Julia Eden, she's we talk daily, and she always says, if I'm up late, she'll just WhatsApp me and say, "Go to sleep." So it's a bit bossy. I've got a couple of other American friends over there as well who do the same thing. Lainey's telling me that I'm overstretching myself as well. So I think I'm going to take the bit.
So. Did you say 60 hours in construction?
Yeah, I get
plus your carnival stuff.
I do. I get paid for continuous working, so I'm actually on site for about 11 and a half hours a day. But you can add on to that an extra half an hour, 40 minutes of commuting time. So it does work out Monday to Friday. I'm out of the house for over 12 hours every day. So that adds up to 60 hours a week.
Well, yeah, look after yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And then they see the problem is that then on Monday nights, I do the Zoom call with the KMT, Kills Mighty Tribe. And that's at 10:30 my time, which finishes at 11:30. So by the time I get to sleep, it's 12. Then I'm up again at 5. And then on Thursday nights, I'm on with Kerry on the Healing Humanity call. And that starts at 11, finishes at 12. So I'm in bed at 12:30, but that's only 4.5 hours sleep. So, I am. Yeah, I've got to think about it a bit. And then on Wednesday evenings, I do the course, the KMT course, the Kills Health course with Dr. Nelson. And that starts at 8, finishes at 10. So, again, I'm not going to get to bed before 11 o'clock on a Wednesday night either. So, yeah, it is. It does take it. It has started taking it out of me. So, but the course finishes in 2 weeks' time. We've got 2 more lessons, and then I can actually maybe Wednesday night give myself a bit of an early night as well. I just got to manage my time, my sleep better, really. But it's been worthwhile because the 5 months I think I've really made progress in uniting the UK and the USA community. Mandy and Jonathan are over there as well now. Joining us quite a lot. I made great friends with people like, Dr. Kilt's grandma recently, Barbara, who was on here earlier. And it's just been great. As you know, DC, I became very good friends with Barbara, told her your story, and she produced a song out of it, which is absolutely fabulous. Yes, I feel I've actually achieved quite a lot in those 5 months, but it is now time to slow down just a little bit and get ready for the summer. I've got Dr. Kilt's coming over for the meetup in the summer. I've got Dr. Abs will be there as well. I've got Juliet coming over with her husband, Doug. They're actually coming over for a holiday, so they're going to be here for 8 days. I'm going to show them around Glastonbury and Stonehenge and that sort of thing. So I've got a really, really busy time coming up, but hey, it's worth it. And I've got the carnivore energy. So that's the.
I mean, you still got to look after yourself first. Otherwise, you're not going to be much help to other people,
And talking of carnivore energy, Lainey has gone through the roof. She's done a few tweaks on the lifestyle, and now she's complaining that because before when she was on the chemo and when she wasn't fully carnivore, she was having to sleep 2 or 3 hours every afternoon and was always feeling tired. Now she said, "What do I do in the afternoons? I've just got so much energy. I don't know what to do with it anymore." So it's what she has done actually is she's like myself has cut the eggs out because she's suspicious of the egg whites and the gastrointestinal health. For me, the egg whites I think were what was causing me itching in the evenings at night. And she's also switched. She likes milk, so she switched from full fat milk to she still drinks full fat milk, but it's lactose free. And that she's improved with that as well. She was suffering diarrhea. She hasn't got a gallbladder. She spoke to Dr. Nelson, or I did on her behalf. He recommended ox bile. She's added ox bile in, and she thinks that's improving because she's now her bathroom visits are normal now. The other thing is she's supplementing with collagen, and it is noticeable that her hair has improved massively. Her nails have improved massively. And her skin has improved massively. She had dermatitis on her ring finger really badly for months. Since supplementing with collagen, that is now completely dried up. And so, she made a few tweaks and her energy is absolutely through the roof. So things are looking good with Lainey at the moment, DC. So we're, fingers crossed. She's really on she's on a long-term 5-year randomized control trial based in New York, Lexington Avenue, from a company called Stemline. And she's on a trial drug called Elacestrant, which is a replacement for the standard of care letrozole. And we're hoping that she's come down on the right side of the randomized control trial because it's 50% either way. 4,220 people around the world, 50% on letrozole, 50% on elacestrant. She's with the elacestrant, and it's fingers crossed that is actually going to be proved to be a successful trial. So yeah, we've got hope for the future now. We really have, and it's great. Lainey's coming with me to Michigan, Kalamazoo. A year ago, she would not have had the energy to do that. So it's good. It is looking good.
Oh, that's good to hear, man.
Yeah,
it's really good to hear.
The thing is, it's all about listening and learning. And she was a bit suspicious of carnivore at first, and then it was Stephanie Taylor who gave her the inspiration to go full carnivore, and she hasn't looked back. And she is now, her favorite go-to. She's OMAD really, or maybe 2 MAD or 1 big meal a day, and that is now she's switched to ribeye every day. So she has a ribeye every day basically. It sounds expensive, but it's not, of course, because we're not eating anything else. We're only eating meat. So there's and we live we share a household, and there are no kids or nobody else in the household, so no carbs ever make it through the door. Well, only a few sort of like no carbs make it through the door to go on our table. So we've got it right. Lainey's reaping the benefits, as am I. As I said, I've got the I've got the carnivore energy as well. Brad's saying good night. Say good night, mate.
Cheers, Brad. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, I was talking to Grandma earlier, DC, and I was saying that I'm short of mates over in Oz. Because I've got you, Jeannie, Josephine Cowley, Larry Holt, the carnivore pensioner, Brad, and Josh in Queensland. And I'm short of other people, really. Chafee's over there, but I'm not his mate. We did have Pete over in Brisbane, but Pete, I think, disappeared, didn't he, really? He was mate
Chafee's over in WA, but Chafee, he's all over the world, really. Like, he's not actually often here. So I put him down as American rather than Aussie, even though he lives there. Yeah, he is American, so
exactly. But we are short of Aussie carnivores, really, in many ways.
Coach Joff, he's in Brisbane, isn't he, Dave?
Yeah, he's in Brisbane.
Of course, I forgot about Coach Joff, but again, he's not a mate of mine, so I haven't really met him. But he's actually a Kiwi originally, I think, isn't he?
Originally, he was he's Filipino Kiwi.
Yeah, he's relocated as well. But as regards mates, I've got 6, I reckon. You two, Josephine, Brad, who's just come off, Josh over in Roma in Queensland, and Larry Holt, the carnivore pensioner. Those are my 6 Aussie mates in.
I haven't heard from Josh recently. I hope he's all right.
I haven't either. I've got no notifications from his channel, so not too sure about that.
Yeah, I have to check on that. Yeah, I forget what his channel name was actually. But
I can't remember. Yeah. I've got it on my subscriptions, but I can't remember what it was now. He did change it at one time, I think, as well.
I'll have to check that.
Yeah, and 4 of you are in Queensland as well, because Josephine's in Queensland, Brad and Josh are, and so are you, DC. Jeannie, you told me the other day, whereabouts are you?
I used to be in Queensland. I've moved to New South Wales.
So okay. Yeah.
I've gone south. To cooler climate. Cool.
It's still quite hot up here, so
it's warm here lately, but not as bad as Brisbane without the stinking humidity. It's a lot better.
The humidity is pretty bad up here. I think just a couple of days ago it was 90% humidity.
Oh
it was really sweaty.
We've got friends in SA down in Renmark on the banks of the Murray, but they're not carnivore. They came over here and moved into my town, Bridgewater, for a long time. And they both got married to Brits, and there was a sister-brother combination, and they both got married to Brits, and they're back in SA now, back in Renmark. I think Hugh's the chef in the Renmark Hotel. He's a very good chef, actually. And Bridget is an English teacher, and she's back in SA teaching now as well. So. But they came over about 10 years, so they became very, very good friends of ours. But again, not carnivore, and we got friends over in WA as well in Perth. We got Mark and Charisse who came over for a while as well. So we've got friends over in Oz, but not many carnivores. So there we go.
Actually, I haven't really seen a whole lot of Aussies actually on carnivore.
No, that's my impression as well, because we get the same names every time, especially in the USA ones. yourself and Jeannie, Josephine, Brad occasionally, but not very often. I haven't seen Josh for a long time. And Larry, Larry doesn't really join in with the USA community, so don't see him too much. So I'm not sure where Larry's based. I know he's in Oz, but
I think it's going to be difficult at the moment. Actually, I think meat's going to go up in price very soon because there was quite severe floods up north, and they reckon that they've killed about 42,000 cattle.
Oh, cool.
So
yeah, that's not good.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, Oz is surprisingly sort of non-carnivore wayish, isn't it? Because I mean, it was you that actually Aussie put that about the sun slips that flop. You know, everybody's scared of the sun in Australia, and
it's crazy,
and you're a bit, you're a bit left
slap on a heap of chemicals and think they're going to protect themselves from the sun. You know,
there's a lot of vegetarian talk in Oz from what I can understand, which is really weird considering that you guys are supposed to be the the typical sort of you would think you guys would be the meat eaters and like South Africa sort of thing, you know?
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? I mean, there's more cattle in Australia than there are people, but
and sheep as well, of course.
And sheep, and sheep. But,
so I mean, we have a joke here in the UK. We've got lots of Aussie jokes in here, but one of them is Australia, where men are men and sheep are nervous. So it's
yeah, we say the same thing about New Zealand.
That's New Zealand, not Australia.
Yeah, we always say the same about New Zealand. But, I mean, like this is the thing, like the meat, consumption in Australia consistently has gone down year after year after year. We are largely plant-based in Australia, but or there's retards that think that eating plant-based will make you healthy and so on. All our diseases keep going up and up and up, even though our meat consumption keeps going down and down and down. So they don't get it.
Here's an interesting question for you guys. Okay, the Wallabies, the Australian rugby team, used to be, they were world champions. They were awesome. They're not very good at the moment. Do you reckon that could be something to do with nutrition?
No, I don't think it's nutrition. I think it's more. I think it's more to do with the woke mind virus. It's hard. It's very difficult. Like, this is one of the reasons why I actually left Australia in the first place. All right, it's very difficult to coach in Australia because especially when you get these prima donna, like professional athletes, for example. You can't push athletes here. You can't push them as hard as you. I mean, like, I would be very much at home, like in Russia or Japan, coaching there. I can push an athlete as much as I want. I can push them hard. But here, like, you have to be careful not to offend anyone. You have to be careful not to upset anyone, and it's pathetic, And I think that's I think the woke mind virus is what's the biggest problem with coaches. Plus, I mean, the coaches' quality here, I really don't think they're all that high quality either, because nutrition maybe is part of it, but it really there's a lot to it, I think.
Have you seen the Zoe Harcombe lecture? Should we be vegan? Have you seen that one?
I love Zoe. I think she's amazing. I have seen that one.
Yeah, she flags up the Australian poster girl for veganism and athletes. And apparently she was 24th in the world or something. And Zoe asked a very simple question. Well, if she's a vegan and 24th in the world, what were the 23 people in front of her eating? And that was a typical Zoe Harcombe comment, basically. Apparently she was supposed to be the proof that veganism is the best for you. But what were the other 23 eating? So, and the other thing is, well, just before we answer Jonathan's question, Bart obviously used to be the one of the nutritional team for the All Blacks when they were at their most awesome back in 2011, 2015. But they've kind of slipped as well recently. They're not quite as awesome as they used to be. And I wonder whether that Bart influence is fading away now, and their nutritional coaches aren't getting it right as much as they used to, because they were just unbeatable when Bart was on the team. So yeah, it's just interesting measure of and I actually managed to pin Bart down on when he was on Dr. Kilt's, and I asked how many of the 2011 All Black winning side was carnivore. He said 3 were full carnivore, so he did have full carnivores on his team. And we know that Sonny Boy Williams was a full carnivore in 2015 as well. So that as those carnivores have retired from rugby, I'm wondering what's replaced them, and why New Zealand aren't they don't have that invincible, that unbeatable aura about them that they used to have. You know, it's just a thought. And South Africa, of course, which is, they are massive meat eaters, big time meat eaters. They're pretty much dominating the world at the moment of rugby. So you know, it's maybe there is something in it.
Oh, anyway, definitely. I mean, there's definitely one piece of the puzzle for sure. Yeah. Poor diet's going to make have a profound effect.
Maybe they've been told you eat this or you don't play or you don't get paid or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bribery. Yeah. It's possible.
All sorts of stuff goes on in professional sports, you know.
Yeah, so just a quick one. Duncan Smarts, who I'm sure we're aware of, the over in the UK, he's written the Carnivore manual. He's an international triathlete for Britain in his age category in the 50s. And he has to lie to his coaches about his nutrition. He has to lie to them about his nutrition.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, that's like I said, like the level of coaches is just not there either. You know, like they believe this, supplements and carbs and all the rest of that crap that, carbo loading and all that sort of bullshit that, most people sort of believe in.
Okay, there's Duncan's book. He's the international triathlete, Carnivore, the manual. It's very good because he's a mathematics teacher, retired mathematics teacher, so he does take a scientific approach. If anybody, it's very easily attainable online. He just recently republished it, so if anybody's interested in Duncan, who is an international triathlete, and his story about how he lies to his coaches, then that is the book. And also, he's he's doing a lot of interviews at the moment as well. So you can find him on various channels.
Okay.
Well, I hope his coaches don't read it then.
No, well, they won't do, will they? Because they're not carnivore.
No,
exactly. Yeah, true.
Thanks, Jonathan, for the $2, £2, £2. I really appreciate that, mate. What's the most profound benefit or observation you found breathwork in yourself or others? Okay, I've had myself regulating my nervous system is a big thing, especially when you have severe ADHD like I do. That has been a profound effect for me. Physiologically, the blood count improvement, like measurable differences in my my testosterone production, my blood cell production, and so on. So health-wise, physically, I've had vast improvements. But also, not just apart from the ADHD and like calming my nervous system and the way I think, but emotionally as well, like very emotional sort of breakthroughs, I guess, in myself, but also in other people. That when I have dealt with, I've actually done breath work sessions for other people. Some of them have had such profound emotional breakthroughs as well. One girl in particular, she, after a breathwork session, she cried for hours because she let go of, some of the pain or just the baggage, that people carry around with them. Like she had a lot of baggage from her mother and from part of her cultural sort of baggage as well. But she managed to sort of just drop all that after that, and she felt a great sense of relief after a breathwork session. And this was about a 45-minute breathwork session. There are numerous benefits that you get from like a good breathwork session. You can take people into that meditative sort of state. You bring them down to that ventral vagal state. You can elevate their nervous system, and you can sort of, you can help them to sort of let go. Because like when we hold on to pain, for example, whether it's emotional, physical pain, you store that in your nervous system. Okay, there's a really good book called The Body Keeps the Score. When we get through any kind of pain, even like a physical pain, like going through cancer treatments or chemotherapy or broken leg or whatever it is, your nervous system sort of holds on to that pain, stores that pain, and that can cause, muscle spasm and contraction and all sorts of other problems later on. But if you can relax your nervous system, okay, control or access your nerve, consciously regulate your nervous system, you can actually convince your nervous system to let go of that pain, and that can relax the muscles around that area. For example, there's a number of reasons why people do breath work. It's not just physical performance or to calm yourself and so on. It's also very beneficial like emotionally as well. And that's why this is why many cultures around the world have practiced these breathwork techniques, from Siberian shamans to Indian yogis to the Vikings, the samurai, the Shaolin monks, and they all do this for the same reasons: the fighting spirit, the philosopher state, and to release trauma, okay, after battle or after any kind of injury, So there's many benefits, and I've felt this stuff myself as well. It can be very effective. Commonwealth American folks are more often a bit soft. Yeah, I think so too. I think so. Yeah. I think it's the comfort thing. When you're training athletes, everyone they have this, especially like professional athletes, have these standards of, they don't do it so tough anymore. Like Russian athletes or Eastern European athletes, they'll just do like a local sort of gym, and they'll push themselves as hard as possible, sort of thing. I think we're all a bit soft these days, At that level, the difference IMO is access to PEDs. Yep, that's true. You can nearly emulate exercise just by using a few drugs. That's true. Yeah, 100%, man. I totally agree. Yeah. BioGreen, Marine, BPC 157. Yeah, that's been getting around recently, isn't it? New growth hormone. Yeah, analogs make overtraining very difficult. Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, they I don't know. It's a very different ball game when you get to like that sort of level. Like the professional rugby players, of course they all use PEDs, but it is what it is, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff that goes on in professional sports, even amateur sports. So yeah, any worker in the UK under a governing body responsive under public services can lose their job for promoting carnivore. Yeah, that's true too. Or non-approved diets. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like it's this, especially like these professional athletes, for example, like you're talking about the All Blacks before. They're not going to tell anyone they're eating carnivore diet, because a lot of their sponsorship also relies on food companies, like especially processed foods, and you're looking at Red Bull, all these like Monster energy drinks, and like protein powders and protein bars and all this other crap that so they're going to keep on promoting that stuff. And this has been going on ever since I don't know, probably since the first Olympics. Like back in the 60s when they're promoting these energy drinks like Milo and stuff, they'll have professional cricket players saying, this is what I drink, this is what I do. And it's like, there's no way. You know,
well,
totally.
KFC sponsors the cricket, and all the cricket ads, they're chomping down on KFC crap, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
To go back 20 years to our brilliant international decathlete, Daley Thompson, he was recruited by Lucozade, which is a sugary drink, which is supposed to promote health. So he was on it all the time, on TV all the time, promoting Lucozade. I expect Jonathan probably remembers that. So they do. You know, I think Dr. Ab says that he knows quite a lot of professional sportsmen who are carnivore, but they are sponsored by these processed food companies, so they can't come out and declare it. So this is the problem that we've got.
Yeah, but what they do in their private life is different, of course. I mean, the cricketers probably don't munch on KFC all the time, you know. So
no, exactly right. No, I mean, like a professional athlete's not going to sit down and, you know, hoe down on KFC or McDonald's or, you know, these Monster energy drinks all the time. But I mean, to the public, that's what they're going to show because that's who sponsors them, you know. Which, I mean, you can kind of understand why they do it, but it's also kind of a pretty cowardly thing to do. Like it's, you know, you're pushing this crap onto people who think that, okay, these great athletes do it, so I can too, sort of thing. And they should know that.
But who really thinks KFC is healthy? Like really, like, isn't it easy to see through? Well, they've got to promote that because that's sponsoring them. Yeah. Like, who believes KFC is healthy? Do you, Jonathan?
Yeah, that's right.
No, I don't think you would. No. Like, you know, come on.
I mean, the problem is mindset, though, isn't it? Because I believe that a calorie was just a calorie and that food was food and it didn't matter where you got your energy from. I believe that. I was brainwashed. I didn't understand about nutrition. And it wasn't until I discovered nutrition 4 years ago that my mindset is completely turned around 180 degrees. And as I was saying on my coaching video yesterday, and also to Dawn last night, that, you know, mindset, I think, is one of the hardest things as a coach. You've got to encourage people. You've got to turn everything around. It's basically, you've got to turn the pyramid upside down. You've got to turn the advice upside down. A doctor tells you to do something, go and do the opposite. But that's it's a very hard mindset to change because we're supposed to trust our teachers who teach us.
We've been programmed.
We're supposed to trust our doctors who tell us that carnivore is bad for us. You know, the people that we're supposed to trust, we've got to be 180 degrees away from them in order to get it right. It's crazy, but it really is. But it's hard to change that mindset.
It is. Well, it's programming, you know, and it's programming that's been going on for a very long time. So that's why it's so difficult to change, you know. So, yeah, it is amazing stuff, Jonathan. Yeah, you can really do some amazing things, actually. How you doing?
Not too bad. Got some sleep last night.
No, that's good.
You touched on the point about what was it? How I do the opposite. George said. You sort of listen to that and you think that can't be right. But in my experience, it's always been right. So I discharged from hospital myself twice within the last week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it's been. The first time was, I didn't want to lie on the floor. I didn't want a 7-hour wait for something which could have been critical. I thought, well, I'm not going to be seen here any quicker, so I'm going to go home. You know, and come from my own home. The second reason was the other night, chatting with DC. I'm not going to go into it. All the problems you could imagine. You know, a bodybuilder, autism, in a healthcare setting, not being looked after, basically. So I was dehydrated in different blood tests and things they did. And they worked out that after 3 hours after having my blood test to actually drip bag to say, oh, take this drip bag, we'll measure the stuff, measure again when it finishes going into you, sort of thing, like the electrolytes and stuff. I was like, you're not going to remember this. Like, you'll come around in 3 hours' time, check this, you're going to leave me. And I'm going to get worse because I'm not hydrated at all, not being looked after. I don't have a drink, food, or anything. Yeah, so it turns out I did the right thing. So actually, AI'd my response. You know, AI's like with you know, it sometimes gives you a bit of a slightly more authority sort of leaning. But it completely agreed with me. Yeah, under your situation, you were getting worse. You're only going to get worse. Listen to your body going home. Got like 20 tubs of keto pro electrolytes sat there. Drink them as I want, as my thirst requires. My body's going to sort itself out. So I feel better since getting back. And that's just one example where I did something where I was told perhaps not to do it, but they weren't going to look after me. I have the capacity to. So,
no, that's exactly right, isn't it? I mean, I'm with you there, man. I mean, I've had to discharge myself, numerous times as well, because it's just they just don't understand. They just don't understand what's going on, and they've got so many other people to look after as well that they can't sort of get around to you much either. Like I've been there before where I've just been completely forgotten. They were supposed to, like, I've been scheduled for a 6 a.m. operation, and they could just left me lying there in this bed, and I couldn't eat anything before the operation, and they didn't get to me till the next day.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
15, slightly different experience. 15 staff members at most points throughout the day. Less than 10 patients.
Oh, wow.
Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm talking about 15 like nurses or healthcare assistants, not just 15 cleaners and whatever. So it's I don't want to disrespect, like, people that do put in good work, because there were a handful of people that pushed the belt. They did their best, but there's just no way to follow things up. They don't have the time. They're always rushing around, like, getting told to do, like, middle management, then have to fill in the thing online because they've spoken to someone. But in the 24 to 25 hours I was there, I probably had 9 total hours of care, as in, like, anyone talking to me at all, even just pop head through the door or to measure my blood pressure, whatever.
Yeah, it's shockingly bad in, like, public hospitals. It really is. Yeah. I've just done a bit of grounding and breath work. Good girl, well done. With the cold shower as well. I feel amazing. I told you. And ready to face the day. George, run. I told you. Yeah. I guarantee you start the day with cold therapy, breath work, and grounding, and get your sunlight. You're going to feel amazing. And you'll feel that all day. So
to pick up on the hospital thing, DC, from here in the UK, there she is. She's bouncing. A little bit of sad news this week. We just lost a very good family friend at the age of 73. She had metastatic cancer. And I think on the 22nd of January, she went into the hospital in great pain. And they tried to keep her in and said, we're going to carry out an operation. But she knew that she was coming to the very end of her life. So she said, no, you're not going to touch me. I'm going to go home to die. And she actually did die on the 4 days later on January the 26th, which is Australia Day. But that was a classic case of what's the point of the end? She knew that she had less than a week to live because she deteriorated very rapidly. And yet they wanted to keep her in and muck around.
You can't feel it, when your time is up, sort of thing. But this is the thing. Like, the doctors, they'll keep on giving you treatment or operations, even then they know there's no hope. They'll keep doing it because they can charge more money.
Yeah.
That's basically why
my father died in 2016, August 2016, because he was very healthy up until May of 2016 when he was 93, and then he got pneumonia, and he went in the hospital, and the doctor said, "Oh, you're going to be with us quite some time." He said, "No, I'm not." He said, "I'd rather go home and die than stay another night in here," and he discharged himself. He clung on for another 3 months. I went and saw him in July on his birthday. And he said to me, his last meaningful conversation with me was, "George, I don't know if I'm coming back from this." He didn't say I'm not coming back from this. He said, "I don't know if I am this time or not." And he was right, because a month later he was dead. But he was okay with it because Mum had already gone. He had a really good life up until the age of 94, and he was just ready to go. He was ready for the off. So there was no way they were going to keep Dad in hospital. And he was very blunt when he told the doctor, "I'd rather go home and die than spend another night in this place." So that's how he passed.
Mindset has a lot to do with it too. I mean, if you're ready to go, then that's the way it is. I mean, that's fair enough too. It comes to a point when sometimes you got to think, like, what's the point if it's it's going to be like this sort of thing,
Yeah, when there's no quality of life anymore. Exactly. That's what our friend Rita had. She had no quality of life left. She knew that she only had about a week to live. So what's the point in having invasive surgery? And she just would rather go home to die. Anyway, talking about going, I've got a brekkie appointment, as I think Jeannie knows, with my mate from the army.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to love you and leave you, and I'm off to meet you.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, off for a carnivore brekkie. I'll see you guys.
Tell Lane to keep up the routine. That's good. Yeah, so it's good. It's always good to be at home, though, isn't it, mate? I mean, it doesn't matter how you're feeling. It just always feels better to be at home, rather than the hospital. I hate being in the hospital. I can't stand it. I hate even walking in through the door.
Yeah, I don't last very long. Like, you couldn't put me in a normal bag with people in it. I just wouldn't tolerate it. I wouldn't sleep. I'd be stressed out.
Oh, it's impossible to get good sleep. It's just impossible.
No, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
And like when you're sort of in the matrix and you think this is all apparently normal, but you think it's annoying or something. Like when they wake you up, you're dead asleep. You're probably comfortable. And they wake you up to take your vitals. It's like, piss off! I was asleep. What are you doing?
Back off.
Yeah.
You fucking wake me up, you bastard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's insane.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, when I was in for the transplant, like they were waking me up every 15 minutes or so because they were concerned because obviously they were concerned because I'd stopped breathing a number of times, but it just got like, that's different, but it was really frustrating for me because I didn't know what was happening. Really, I didn't know I'd stopped breathing. That I just sort of woke up dazed, and they were trying to sort of get me breathing, sort of thing. But I finally got to sleep, and then I had the nurse come back and wake me up. But that kind of really pissed me off, actually.
Yeah.
After a certain point, it's like the third time, it's like, I was that close to getting a bit of R&R, but they got my blood levels wrong as well when I was there. Like, and they said my CRP was like 100. I didn't realize I carnivore diet. I shouldn't be having 104 CRP. It turns out it was 4. Read it. My whole order of magnitude of 10. 10.
Wow, that's a big mistake.
At that point, I was like, these people overworked, tired, illiterate, and also, I wouldn't say lazy. I don't think lazy is the right word, but there's something going on there. And I was like, I can look after myself better from my own bedroom, where I'm sat right now, than I can in there.
Yeah, but again, for the most part, most people can't. So, I mean, yourself, you know what you're doing, and I can understand why. Most people are going to think that they're the experts as well, and they're going to get better care. They feel they're going to get better care in the hospital. But for us, it's like it's just not going to. I mean, I think we're definitely better off at home, as much as we can be anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's always a last resort to going to the hospital, isn't it? So they just can't give us the care that we need. Yeah.
Like the initial thing, if I just rang A&E in the first place, took up NHS time, I'd have cumulatively taken up less of NHS time and money. I've got my observations done all there and then.
Yeah.
Now
it really shouldn't take all that long, should it?
We've got a few rules in place, like around not rules in that kind of sense, but like things in place around the house. We know now if certain things happen, if I leave the house, I need to do this or be with this person or something. So just in the interim, until we know what's going on, because I don't want to be all like me, but it's like it's frustrating because this sort of thing you don't know you soon or like never again. There's no like rules for it. Some people have 2 seizures or 2 fits, or some people have one and never again. Some people have them every week. But the thing that concerns me is that I'm still shaky. My voice is a bit better, but I am having to try to construct sentences more like it feels like slow.
Yeah.
I have the intent to say something, but when it comes out, it's like.
Yeah. I can understand that. I don't know. Have you spoken to Andrew about this?
No, I've not spoken to him. But basically, I messaged Stephen. He was like, to be honest, like your number can be a bit weirder than most people's anyway.
Oh, that's true.
And also, it's so multifaceted. It's not like I could give Andrew a scan and he knows.
No, that's true.
We're dealing with at least 3 different organ systems with multiple comorbidities. I guess it's kind of like follow the what do you call it? The duck's head sticking out sort of thing. I guess.
That's right, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, this is. I mean, it's the same for everything. Like we always had to sort of work out. We always had these different sort of like comorbidities that sort of make things a little bit different. But at least Andrew has some experience with these fits though himself as well. So I don't know. He might give you some insight.
People like you and Andrew though, because like usually like maybe 4 years ago I wouldn't have paid much attention to your sort of content or Andrew's. It's funny how things once you go full circle, like you actually have to pay more attention because different things become more useful. It's quite testing, but also interesting. Like a unusual turn of events, I guess.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm the same. Like it's even like stuff that I do now, like even like 10 years ago, I wouldn't have even thought about even watching that stuff on YouTube either, like watching that sort of content or even thinking about that sort of stuff, but then you sort of pick up a few things and you think, oh, okay, that's interesting. Then you sort of go a bit deeper, and you realize, well, okay, there's so much more to it than what we just see, and there's some really interesting information. Actually, Sarah Pugh did a video about this the other day. She's talking about. I mean, it's a completely different subject, but it's just talking about mindset, like the way we think about these different things, and we come to it at different parts of our life where normally we like earlier we wouldn't even think about these sort of things, but now it's kind of seems more interesting. But she was talking about the scientific stuff behind the spiritual sort of side of things as well, and how she was talking about light and breath work and all this other stuff as well. But just interesting stuff. Like 10 years ago, I would have thought, no, this is crackpot sort of stuff. I just wouldn't be interested in that sort of stuff, But it's a good point to like the human eye. Like we only see, less than 5%.
0.0015%.
Yeah, that's right. That's like we actually perceive what's actually in front of us. So there's just so much more that we just, more than 99% that we just don't see, right? So and that kind of when eventually that you do sort of start sort of delving into these sorts of areas, you sort of it's kind of hard to get your head around sometimes, and you think, yeah. You sort of have to do a bit of mental gymnastics to sort of think, start taking a bit of interest in it,
Yeah. Gene, I've got a question for you, if that's all right.
Yeah, mate.
What have you found like most useful? But when I mean most useful for like your health stuff, I mean something that's like not diet, like something that's thrown you, like you're like wasn't expecting that to be useful.
I'm going carnivore. Well, I'm probably more keto, but I developed adult asthma, and I'm not in my 30s, I think. I'm not sure why. Didn't have any sign of it before that. I went through quite an emotional thing, which may have had some effect, I don't know. But I find as soon as I eat something bad, my asthma will play up a bit. So it sort of helps keep that under control, right? But I think just all the aches and pains, I just don't have them. You know, like I knocked my big toe pretty hard on the bedpost a year ago or something. If I eat something bad, and it's not bad, right? I don't have major stuff, but I'll feel it. So I'll notice just like that, the aches will come back. So but my asthma, I think, is for me my biggest thing. And when I'm naughty, it does me wrong. So I'd love to get rid of that 100%. And the breathing, I think, does help.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's probably my main thing actually that I'd like to cull.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of staying on track, really.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think asthma is. I mean, there's a number of reasons why you get asthma. I think adult asthma, when you develop it, it can be largely due to your diet, obviously, because the accumulation of junk food.
Yeah.
But it's also a bit of because your nervous system controls the way you breathe as well. So if you can regulate your nervous system, that can also calm your nervous system. You will actually improve your asthma as well. Buteyko proved this actually by you see, like, there's, I think when it comes to like sports and anything really, like 80%, when it comes to like prolonged breath holds, for example, like with deep diving and stuff like that, 80% of it is all mental. Well, nervous system regulating. Okay, so it's you get anxiety when you can't breathe properly, and that triggers like that gasping for air, like that I've got to breathe sort of thing. And that's actually,
and it's right. Calm myself and go through the nose. Yeah,
that's right. So if you can calm yourself while that's happening, like just regulate your nervous system and just breathe slowly and deeply, you're going to find that will control the asthma very, very quickly and very easily. There are methods that you can do, like you practice doing that even when you don't have the asthma problem. Okay, so like you can, because that will train your nervous system to breathe like that normally, like apnea walking, or like just static apnea test, like the Bolt score sort of thing. If you can just sit for in a 5-minute period, just give yourself a time to just pinch your nose and stop yourself from breathing. Just breathe calmly. Don't sort of this is a big difference between like doing out of like Wim Hof sort of method breathing and free diving sort of breathing techniques, right? When it comes to calming your nervous system so that you can have a prolonged inhale breath, so like for free diving, for example, you want to have a very, very calm lead up to that. You don't want to do any hyperventilation. Hyperventilation will put you into that panic mode. Okay, and that makes conditions like asthma or anxiety, ADHD, or anything like that. That makes it much worse. So you just want to do like cardiac coherent breathing, or just very relaxed kind of breathing. Any kind of slow breathing techniques like box breathing, 4-7-8 breathing, for example, and then do an inhale and hold. Okay, and just pinch your nose while inhale, and just pinch your nose and hold it for as long as you can. Right?
Yeah.
Just for as long as you're comfortable holding it. But you're going to find that the difference is that, I mean, while you're not breathing, you're still going to elevate your anxiety. You're going to get that gag reflex, and that's not because of lack of oxygen, because your blood is always going to be minimum 95 to 99% oxygen in your blood. The difference is the CO2 levels. Right? When your CO2 levels fluctuate, that's when you get that need to breathe sort of feeling, right? And you get that anxiety and so on. Right? So if you can just do very calm, relaxed breathing, then do like a nice deep inhale, and then just pinch your nose and just hold that for as long as you can. That will train your nervous system to get used to like CO2 accumulation. So it's CO2 tolerance training. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one way to do it very calmly without any anxiety, or at least lower your anxiety levels. Okay. And you'll find that when you do start to need to breathe, that try and be conscious of the fact that that's just the CO2 levels coming up. And that's a good thing. You're going to feel that, and that will start to give you anxiety. Right? But the more you do this, the more you practice this, the longer that hold will get. Right? Whereas if you do, say, hyperventilation, like Wim Hof method, for example, you do hyperventilation, like Tumo breathing, and then do an exhale breath hold, that is vastly more difficult anxiety wise, because
I don't understand that one.
yeah, because the Tumo breathing is going to elevate your nervous system, and then when you exhale and you don't breathe in, then you're going to get to that CO2 tolerance level a lot faster. It's great for CO2 tolerance training, but you have to understand that, and you have to. And it's also going to depend on what your nervous system is like before you start this. So I don't think it's very good for ADHD people, for example. Okay. Unless, I mean, it's good for physiological things like producing blood cells and EPO and that sort of stuff through hypoxia. Hypoxia is great. But after that, you want to do at least 5 minutes of prolonged, easy breathing, like steady state, long inhales, long prolonged exhale sort of breathing. Okay, so you sort of calm, so you can elevate yourself and then bring yourself back down into that ventral vagal state, because it's that anxiety levels that you're trying to get rid of. You're trying to get your nervous system down into that calm state, especially if you have an asthma problem or an ADHD problem, so that you can control your breathing and so on. Of course, you don't want to be in that state 24 hours a day, because, I mean, you never get anything done that way,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but you need to be able to train your nervous system to be able to fluctuate through those different, that ventral vagal or the sympathetic and the parasympathetic sort of nervous state. You don't want to be stuck in the sympathetic nervous state, or in the parasympathetic. So it's really about being able to move in between, when you need to. So, and that's something that, ice baths help with as well, because it's giving you a hormetic stressor. So it elevates, like when you first get in the cold shower or the ice bath, you sort of elevate into that sympathetic nervous state, but then your brown adipose tissue create heat, and you relax, and you just start breathing properly. Then you bring yourself back down into that ventral vagal state. So it's really about training your nervous system, So it's all very interesting stuff, though.
Yeah, it is.
And of course, it lowers inflammation and that sort of stuff as well. So
yeah.
So again, great for pre-training. Yeah, not after training. So yeah, it's all interesting.
And as you said before, I wouldn't have looked into anything like this without the carnivore and you. If I didn't discover carnivore, I wouldn't have been looking into these other things. So
yeah, that's right. I mean, we always find one thing, don't we? We always find one thing, and then we sort of, okay, what's the next thing? What, we always sort of start digging a bit deeper, So it's a progressive thing, it takes time, So, I mean, I'm a bit slow, so it's taken me 11 years, but you
you've had a lot to deal with.
Yeah,
stuff to do.
Yeah, that's right. yeah. What have you got planned now, Jonathan?
Well, yesterday actually my dad moved down properly to the town along from me. So that's where he originally owned the house before he moved up with my stepmom. So I'm seeing him around about lunchtime, I think, but it depends on what time his TV is getting delivered. But it's bizarre for him because he's moved back in the house, but now he's got even more work to do because he's doing. He wants to sell it, but it's funny because the location where it's at, it's nice, peaceful, quiet, near the town, near to the seaside, literally within half a mile sort of thing. He's got a dog, and it's like, where are you going to get us better?
Yeah, that sounds like heaven.
See what he's going to do with that. Like, okay, you sell the house, make a bit of money. Where are you going to move that's better than where you're currently at?
Yeah, exactly.
He's very smart. He's very, very smart. So I assume he's got some sort of idea.
Yeah, it'd be hard pressed to find something better than that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes your soul, speaking of spooky things, your soul just craves change. Like you feel restless.
Yeah,
I can get that. So maybe it's just that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes you just feel like you need to change. You just need to, see something different, and a change is as good as a holiday, as they say. And
going away in 3.5 weeks. DC. I'm going to Lanzarote.
Okay. Yeah. It's how far away is that?
Like probably 2.5 hours on a plane, I think.
Oh, okay.
Near Spain. So like down a bit across.
Yep. So how are you going to manage? How's your back traveling that far? Is that all right, or maybe a bit of a struggle?
4 different medications, probably to manage that one. Yeah. So we've planned it. So I'm leaving early in the morning, so I've got time to eat when I get there. But it means just throughout the day, I'm going to be like a zombie basically. But whatever. That's within the limitations, because a lot of guys are like asking me, when are you coming to Meat Stock USA and this stuff, and I'm like, two. 1, do you want to pay for it? 2, do you want to make sure I've got like executive class seats to lie in or whatever, If you can do that, I'm there, So.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, people could say, "Oh, when you come over here and come over here," I was like, if you pay for it, I'll be there. You get me the time off. Yeah, you get me the time off, and then you give me the plane tickets and the accommodation and everything else in between. Yeah, sure, I'll be there. I mean, seriously, I mean, it's great that we can all get together on like these communities and we can talk like around the world and so on. But actually meeting in person is a bit of a struggle, So they should understand that. Yeah, it can be. And traveling can be difficult, for especially like Jonathan's condition. I don't like traveling much myself either, because it wears down my immune system, and I just I have to take all these different precautions, stop getting sick and so on. But and sticking to your routine is kind of difficult to do that while you're traveling, and routine's everything for me. Otherwise I just everything just falls apart. So
yeah, that was my experience in hospital. First morning when I got up, I felt dirty, so I had to have a shower sort of thing. I was walking up and down the hospital corridors, and they're like, I don't go too far. I was like, yeah, this is just what I do most days. Like, if I wasn't doing this right now, I'd probably be at the gym, my heart rate elevated, so that's what I'm going to continue doing. So,
yeah.
It also gets you in a different sort of, which in a different spot as well, which is nice. You're staring against like walls.
Yeah.
I wasn't bad in all fairness. It's just not comfortable. Like, I had a fully reclining bed with all the buttons and things, but I was like, I can't lie, mate. It's not beds. It's just not comfortable.
No, those mattresses are horrible, aren't they?
Mm.
Yeah. I think we lost your sound there, mate.
Oh, it's just worse than a sofa, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I remember like my treatment days when I eventually got out of the hospital, and they had different treatments, going through different treatments. Like some days they wouldn't even put you in a bed; like they just put you in a reclining armchair where you got the chemotherapy going pumping through you. But sometimes you might be there for 10 hours, right? You're sitting there in an armchair, or while this stuff is going through you. It's shockingly bad. Like you're stuck there, like there'd be beds and then armchairs and then beds and then armchairs, and you got people in beds getting treatment next to you and then treatment this side, and you just sort of stuck in between them in this little armchair, just for 10 hours. So it's crazy. I hated it. It's shockingly bad, but what can you do?
We've got phones nowadays and stuff like takes good. I can download movies and games or whatever. And I was never bored in sport. Just a case of like, I'm feeling worse here. I don't want to be here now. It's not working. This healthcare is making me healthier.
No, it's exactly right, isn't it? I mean, it drives you nuts when you're first going through it. It's like it drives you get bored out of your skull, and it drives you nuts. But now it's like, well, there's just no way. You don't see any point to it. It's not helping. So, you're better off at home, aren't you? Especially like yourself, like you can manage this better yourself for sure at home.
Yeah, like, for example, fridge and freezer in my room. Oh, my head's a bit hot. It's uncomfortable. I can grab an ice pack from my freezer. I've got a drink. I've got rows and rows of drinks. I can pick up a can like Pepsi Max caffeine free and enjoy that. You've got your sort of method, like my little comforts, and I think that's good and better. Especially when you feel a bit alienated anyway. I think if you're cognitus mentis, then you should ideally be at home as much as you can for recovery and health purposes, I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be times where you have to go to the hospital for something, but as much as possible, you try and be at home, and that's all we can do.
They want to give me antibiotics. So I had no marker of no marker of infections or STIs, STD, or anything like that, obviously. I was like, what you want to give me antibiotics? What's this for? Oh, just to clear it out in case you've got any infections in your system or things like that. I'm like, do I? Nothing was identified. They were right. You want to give me something to harm me?
Just in case, just in case I tell you, that's exactly the way. Just in case you get cancer next year, let's give you chemo now.
It's the same with my spine surgery, guys. With my spine, like there's a 2% efficacy rate for giving me in that instance antibiotics versus not, in terms of 2% chance that it prevented an infection. But for that reason, I've got puffy lip and one way to stab. Got a viral infection which I have to deal with now every time I eat certain foods. Or if I'm stressed out, I don't sleep much because of those antibiotics 3 years ago.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So, yeah,
unbelievable.
I'm very explicit when I say to them, you want antibiotics if something like some limb's going to, like, it's an absolute must, like it's going to prevent something major. Other than that, I'm not interested. That.
Yeah, like if I got gangrene, my arm's about to fall off, then yeah, you can give me antibiotics. But yeah, until then, I'm all right.
Yeah.
No, it's just crazy. Like this, they're trying to prevent. Well, they say they're trying to prevent these sort of things, but I mean, honestly, they're just trying to dose you up and Yeah, it's
Be
just
seen.
it's a broken system.
Yeah, be seen to be doing something as well, probably.
Yeah, there's that too. You know,
action of any kind is better than inaction in their eyes.
Yeah.
When they're
possibly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly.
I used to wonder about the saying, "If you want to get sick, go to the hospital," and I used to wonder, well, that's a bit rough, you know. But now I totally understand it, totally get it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, more people die. You know, more people die in the hospital than do outside of the hospital. You know, so there's got to be. It's not a coincidence. You know, no such thing as coincidence. You know.
No, that's right.
Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is, isn't it?
I know some of my followers might be watching this on your channel. Maybe I just want to say thank you for their support and for yourself and everyone else as well. Who's like left my message or anything. Awkwardly, I had this predicament on I think it was YouTube and Instagram or something, where I post my updates. I couldn't reply to anyone. So I was saying like, Angela Mullins wishes you best wishes and prayers and stuff. And I'm like, that's nice. Oh, thanks, Angela. Enter. Sorry, we could not do complete your request. Enter. I'm like, all these people like being pleasant. It makes me look like I've just left it sort of thing. Like, no, it's not the case. I literally can't reply. So I posted that then on Instagram, and they obviously bombed on board. Now not everyone has me on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Actually, today I actually got blocked. I got deleted from Facebook. Actually, Facebook. They totally deleted my account. I didn't do anything. Like this morning, I posted a link to tonight's live just to promote, push it on my groups and stuff. And then they said, okay, we want to do a security check, and then they do that screen check. You do a facial thing. So they did that, and then like an hour later, they deleted my account. So, yeah, that's these new laws in Australia, I'd say. Yeah.
They actually in, or is it still a bill, or are they in?
Yeah, no, that's actually passed now. So like these are actual laws. They passed it like I think it was like midnight through the night. So they didn't have anyone there to vote on.
They're good at doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, they've got these laws now. Like anything they don't want to hear or disagree with, they delete your social media. You know. So, and that's, I mean, I'm not really that controversial. I try to avoid that sort of stuff a lot, but I could speak a lot more about that stuff, but not on Facebook. I'm not going to do that on Facebook so much. But yeah, they deleted my account completely. So, page, groups, all of it. So, nothing there.
That's my intention with the sort of group I've sort of put together recently. Nothing's finalized, obviously, but it's. My thought is like, well, everyone else is going off platform now, so it's time to sort of do the same. I know you've got this thing like Patreon and stuff. Yeah, people, just as a backup, if anything.
Yeah.
Because, what we do is very niche in our space. It's not many people that perhaps know about it, but a lot of people that need it. So, I mean, if either of us sort of fall off planet sort of thing, it's quite a big dent in the things that could be useful to people. We've got enough people saying the same thing about diet, carnivore diet, and plants though in it. It's like, okay, great, but that's not going to appeal everyone. So.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd like to go to a different platform and try and start something up. So but I've been thinking about working on something recently, like on the School Pro platform as well. And me and Jonathan be talking about that recently as well. So we'll see what happens. I guess it's just one of those things at the moment. We're just going to have to go through this stuff in Australia, and hopefully we can get through the other side as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's a bit scary. They reckon 12,000 people have been arrested in the UK. I don't know if that's true or not, but that number gets bandied around.
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on over there at the moment. I mean, there's plenty of arrests going on here too. Like it's the last 5 years. Like they're arresting, everyone for even just stupid memes and stuff like that. Like so, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing going on here. They're just a bit more quiet about it.
I mean, there's a lot of controversial posts on Facebook. Not about carnivore, about other stuff.
Yeah. So I don't really know why they sort of targeted me, but
no, me neither.
You're not a high influence person in the sense that
that's right.
1 million subscribers.
No, I mean that could be why.
Unless they're doing it on mass, DC, like your like our kind of tier of popularity. Maybe they're just doing that. They skim out the bottom layer, no one will know.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's what they're doing. They're sort of skimming out the bottom layer at the moment because no one's going to really notice if I disappear, sort of thing. But they're sort of working their way up, So because it's just the start of it here for Australia.
With the big scandemic sort of thing, like they thought the test of waters a bit. Like, we'll get a few of these countries to do this sort of thing. We'll start with the most complicit companies, like countries. So, read between the lines. We know which ones they are, the ones with where everyone seems to be the same sort of thing. And we'll move further towards the Western societies where people have got a bit more, contentious, there's more antagonism, either the left or the right party sort of thing. I'm guessing they're sort of trying to tiptoe. It's like the totality. So how far along can you push it before someone rings the bell and it all sort of stops?
Yeah, that's right. So
I'm not an expert at this sort of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, but like you said, like no one's really going to notice like the small sort of influences, I guess. But if they did someone that had like a couple of 100,000 sort of subscribers or followers, then people would notice that, So and they might kick up a stink,
Yeah.
So I think it's very easy for them to just do that now. So I think a lot of people like myself actually told Joff that today too. So he's going to look at going to a different platform as well. The problem is, I mean, these are laws, or they're not really laws, and not really legal. But what platform is going to disagree? Will go against the Australian government. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I'll have to actually relocate before I can actually start doing this stuff again. Maybe, I don't know. So, which I'm really don't mind, because I'm quite happy to go back to Japan. But this is one avenue I was hoping that would help get me over to Japan to start making income.
We might be able to sort of sign up together with us and Joff, of course. Maybe run it past him. I don't really speak to him that much, but run it past him. I've got a lot of good ideas. My problem is time and energy.
I
can work very efficiently and stuff, but it's like I said, it's the consistency of it which I struggle with sometimes.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And other platforms don't attract as many people either. It might get
that's true.
Now I guess it might, expand, but
yeah. Well, I guess it's just one of those things we're just going to have to work through, and I'll have to figure it out somehow and see what happens, I guess. There's really nothing you can do about it. It's no point trying to complain to Facebook, because they're not going to do anything about it.
No, of course not. No.
Yeah, so
we've got enough coaches to facilitate helping the amount of people who have a lot of questions. Because for years now we've had the carnivore diet about people still asking the same questions, which means it's still growing.
Yeah, that's right.
There's still people out there who are in that bracket where they might have heard Sean Baker but watched the video and thought, "Oh, it doesn't really relate to me." But then they see you on the sideline. Oh, this guy had cancer quite a few years ago. Now he's doing the right, and this is what he does. Oh, that's interesting. It sort of ties things together a bit. I think some of these groups are bloody inaccessible. Like 24 quid a month for steak and butter game.
I mean,
I'd rather get Netflix.
And honestly, like the advice that you get from some of those groups as well is just, it's really subpar as well. Like it's some pretty crap advice that they give. So I'm not going to single out any group on this. Not that anyone's listening, but it's just a lot of the stuff that they come out with, they charge. I mean, sure, people pay that. That's good on them. I don't really care about that. But the advice they give, some of it is just absolute nonsense as well. So whatever, I don't really understand the whole YouTube stuff that much, to be honest. But
I don't know why that group in particular has become so popular, because they have never done anything for me. It's like doesn't interest me.
Well, I think they did all right because they got a couple of very large people that started losing weight and were pretty popular. And like, I mean, at that weight, like anything's going to help you lose weight, really. I mean, at that kind of weight, that weight level, it's very easy to sort of lose weight, honestly. But that's sort of propels people. It's like those reality TV shows, like Who's the Biggest Loser sort of thing. They get really popular because the advice they get on these shows is absolutely just garbage. They sort of work. It's crazy stuff. Like they get these like 400 or 500 pound people trying to, and then take them for a jog, sort of thing. It's like, are you nuts? Are you crazy? You're gonna give these people a heart attack. But
people have passed away on those shows. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
They whip them to lose weight, basically.
Yeah.
I think the average weight gain after about a week of them ceasing that whole program is like 24 pounds.
Yeah.
You think 24 pounds that wasn't your body last week is on it this week. Your heart has to deal with that.
Yeah.
Well, all of your organs not gained that much in that time, but even 10 pounds in a week just from rehydrating after a contest or something. Yeah, you feel it. You do feel it. You feel at the risk, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of your organs are feeling that. Like your kidneys, your liver, everything is just like they're under a lot of strain when you have that much weight fluctuation, whether it's putting it on or losing it. You still go through that same sort of trauma, so and I've seen some of the before and after, like they do these like a year later sort of thing. They put like the Biggest Loser people, they've put on like more weight than they had when they started the damn show. So they're not learning anything on how to manage themselves, how to manage their weight or anything. So I mean, it's all very motivational when you got someone whipping you behind you. You're gonna run, aren't you?
Exactly. That's right. Yeah.
Well, I think Bart was right all along. Bart had very good instincts and intuition to work this out. But if we look at the data on long-term fat loss results or weight loss results, 95% of the diets fail. So there's a 5% success rate. Yeah. So Jeannie, say you and 100 of your mates sort of go get together and you join a Weight Watchers club or whatever, Slimming World. 5 of you will get benefit when you finish the program. 95% of you won't, or you'll get fatter. That's
when they say benefit, though, that could be a very minimal thing.
They try to use things as like points. I think that's where people go wrong, with like calories. And like there's a hierarchy of measurement we use to identify what food intake we have and how it corresponds or correlates with certain body weights. Yeah. But if we don't have the underlying principle of can you achieve that reliably, reproducibly every single day in terms of that diet that gives you that result, you've got no hope in hell. That's why the GLP-1s, in my opinion, can be useful because they change your mindset in a sense. So if your microbiome is, say, dealing with sugar for months on end, then you actually cut it out or reduce it by half for 3 weeks. Your gut microbiome will adjust to that, but you'll start craving more fats, then you're less likely to get diabetic. Lower insulin levels, better satiety signal, better leptin levels. reduced ghrelin levels, and more long-term adherence. So that's obviously it's not first port of call. I quite like the idea of especially the later GLP-1 because their efficacy rates something like 20 to 25% versus 5. We're looking at outcomes here. So, as much as I'd love to say, don't take medication, but I'm like, if you've got something which works 5 times better than calorie counting, do it. And if that's your best option on the table because you're an addict, you can't stop putting down
that's the thing. Like,
I mean,
when you go to these big places like Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or like those TV shows, the Biggest Loser and stuff like, it's all about calories, right? And they basically just force these huge people on like through these like basically boot camps, and then like without any sort of previous training, and then just put them on like a starvation diet. And then like they're barely eating to recover, and when they are eating, it's like 90% plant-based or or carbs anyway. And then by the end of it, I mean, of course they've lost weight because they were huge anyway. They will start, anything's going to help them lose weight. They didn't even have to exercise to lose weight. But you put someone on a starvation diet. I've got a lizard on my window. Put them on a starvation diet and then whip them until they almost drop. Of course they're going to lose weight, but they can't do that at home. They can't do that. It's not reproducible week in, week out. And it's the same with these Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig sort of like home delivery meals. Like, we'll send you this is your food for the day.
100 calories snack bar full of fiber.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's still low fat, high carb. Same thing.
Yeah,
same thing.
Exactly. Because it's all strict, like it's all straight from the Dietetics Association, basically, because they get their dietitians. They say, what's the perfect diet? And of course, it's all plant-based garbage. Just absolute nonsense. So
it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's about finding a sort of diet you can stick to.
Well, that's it too. I mean,
like Jeannie's found, you sort of get on your journey and you sort of find a little bit here. Oh, that helps a bit. That helps a bit. Before you know it, you put together a whole routine of habits. You've put together, I don't know, maybe 3-6 weeks or longer. Then it becomes easier to adhere to them because you just see them as daily things. Like something simple as like opening up your window in the morning.
Yeah,
that helps people. Like you wouldn't believe. Putting a plant in your room or something, some kind of form of nature. It sounds bizarre, but I'm pretty damn certain if you put, twins and one had plant in the room their whole life and the other one didn't, one would have better health.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely have better mental health. It's more than just about, I mean, the oxygen and stuff like that. I mean, there are benefits to having the plants inside, but being in touch with nature, we are built to be in touch with nature. We are built to move. We are built to interact with nature. That's right. Yeah.
Like our fingers are the webbing between our fingers, like our feet. We've not lost adaptation. It's something.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
It's something we have. So, like, we obviously live near sea because we need a better grip onto rocks, and we're going under. We need to like grab onto something. So it speaks volumes. I mean, the fact that when our skin dries itself off in the sun,
that's right.
pH balance of our sun, the oil that we have on our skin, is designed to not put stuff in through osmosis, diffusion, I guess. So, we like you said, we've got obvious adaptations we can measure and see that do show that we have evolved in an outdoors climate. Yeah,
that's right. Exactly right. Yeah, I mean, we do build shelters and we build. I mean, but naturally, like, I mean, in the past, we always used natural materials as well, which, like you build a house out of logs or even clay and straw and things like that. These natural fibers that were still in contact with the earth. We're still grounded, and that was always much healthier sort of lifestyle. So all these new things that we use today, they sort of detach us from nature. A part of the problem. So even the false light after dark, candlelight and fire is, we were used to that sort of thing, and you get sort of natural red light from fire.
Even you wearing a cap right now, DC, is a biohack. Like, it's not going to get all the blue light spectrum from your eyes and from the periphery, but it's going to get rid of some of that.
Yeah, that's right.
It's more better than not wearing it. So
yeah, it certainly lowers it. You can see that's why it's in the shade, in the beak.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Otherwise, I usually use the red light glasses, but
yeah,
I don't do too much of these at night anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah.
But there's just things that the things that the more we go away from nature, the sicker we get, and that's the one part of the thing is like what we talk about. I mean, it's not just the carnivore diet, but I'm talking about breath work and ice baths and everything like that. These are just mimicking what we did naturally anyway. In the past, these were part of our natural routines. We've always done that. I mean, we call them, we tend to call them biohacks now, but these are just ancestral sort of habits.
It's funny, we can actually measure these things, like the physics of it, or how it works, like how the electron transport chain gets closer together under certain magnetic stresses, how that allows you to produce more energy, so you're more efficient, how it allows you to have longer telomeres because you've got less reason to have more toxins in your body. So every time your body has, everything's got a toxicity spectrum to it. The longer you spend on the bad side of it, the less long you'll live. So all these things, like you said, like the additives, and they can perhaps stave off some of the damage we have in modern day society, but not all of it. So you got to think, well, you've got to do this just to get to square one at best.
Yeah.
But I try to put that towards people rather than just the whole idea of just, it makes you like 10% better. I'm like, no, it'll stop you from getting 20% worse.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? I mean, it's really just about mitigating the problems or the toxicity, I guess, and just dealing with it as best you can. So, but I think what we'll do, you guys stick around. We've been here for 2.5 hours. Oh, hey, Lainey. Thank you, DC and Lainey. Sorry, Jeannie, for the best morning. Oh, you're very welcome.
Right, Lainey. Good on you.
Absolutely bountiful. See, I told you, a bit of cold water, a bit of breath work, and you'll be on top of the world. Yeah, listen to DC. He knows what he's talking about. All right. Well, we might head off there, but stick around, guys. We'll talk in the background. And everyone else, thank you very much for tuning in. Like 2.5 hours is a pretty long one for us tonight. So we will see you again next week, and look forward to bringing you the cold therapy interview I did with Dr. Thomas Seeger. And I'll also have some routines and techniques for you to sort of put these into a program into your own routine as well for you next week. So stay tuned, everyone, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys.